Hi everyone, my name's Elizabeth Wigington and I'm so excited to show you my senior sketchbook. And this is my first sketchbook video of me going through, giving you a whole tour, talking all about the sketches, and I'm really excited to do this. And the reason I'm doing this and the reason it's my first one is because this sketchbook means a lot to me, and it is the sketchbook that has been through the most change and the most experience, and the one I have worked on the most throughout my life and throughout the sketchbook. So it has the best artwork that I have done in it so far, and it is very consistent and it means a lot to me. So I keep my sketchbooks a lot like a diary, kind of diary journal. I mean, it's not anything I wouldn't want to show anybody, but you will see since it's going through the different kinds of parts of my life, there's some really great times, some not so good times, but also just shown through the sketches in this book. And you'll see many trips that I've been on, and the emotions and excitement I was feeling through these things. So I always make a cover for my sketchbooks, and this time I made the Big Dipper kind of constellation, and I used glow-in-the-dark stars for it. I could have done a little bit more creative idea for the sketchbook, but I didn't know it was gonna be this big a deal to me when I made it. And so I made this star bigger because this one is my favorite star. It's kind of silly, but I added a bunch of constellations, like stars, on the back of it. And on the back of the sketchbook are a bunch of stickers that I get from pen pals, from trips that I've been on, just things that I find, plus Bible verses from church. And this is a SCAD sticker and a Savannah sticker because I will be attending Savannah College of Art Design this fall, which is really exciting. And here we go. Before we start, I think it's important to mention that in past sketchbooks, I didn't spend as much quality into the pages. What I mean is I didn't present it as much like a book. And so when I started this one, I really needed a strong start to it. So I gave myself a good cover page and a good first page to help get me rolling and inspire me to put more work into it. So let's start the tour. So here is my first page. I started with a cover of a portrait and put the start date and the end date, although I didn't know when I would end it. I did write that on July 15th. So I added just a bunch of sketches and Polaroids and stickers, just like I do for the back page. I put it on the front page of just pictures and things from the times and places that I went. So let's go into the first page. So this one, I did a study of crows where I just wanted to look at the anatomy of the birds and their wings and things, but also just getting a good first start to this sketchbook. And then after that, I just went ahead and went into a study about whales. And I thought this one looked pretty nice. I had somebody tell me that I should probably fix up some of the lines around these whales, but I just like the sketchy way that it looks. So then, as you can tell, this is in chronological order of my life. So here is when I turned 18 years old, plus some sketches from homework and things. At school, I was always constantly drawing all over my homework, and I would cut those things out and keep them because I wouldn't want the teachers to throw them away. Plus what me and my twin sister did for our birthday party. And yeah. On this page, I did a figure study where I looked at the proportions of people plus fabric and things. And in here, I also have a picture of my grandpa looking at my sketchbook. On this page, I just kind of drew a few things, just kind of working with pen and figuring out how to get used to those. But I really like the way these drawings turned out. Turned out pretty well. On this page, I found a purple pencil and decided to draw and practice some guitars. And I think this one turned out pretty great. I love the vibes of this one. Plus I did extra few studies around here. Here it is more cutouts from homework. The interesting thing is the cutouts from homework can turn into some really good ideas. Like here is just something that I drew one day, and it turns, just out of boredom, it turns into a sticker design. And then we went to watch the first solar eclipse, kind of like a half solar eclipse, plus TV shows that I was watching here too. On this page, so this is cool. This is drawn at my grandparents' house the same day that he did this, that he looked through it, so that's pretty cool. Plus just more cutouts from homework and things that I did that day. So this is cool. This was drawn in art class, and it was a rainy day, so I just kind of drew how that felt. Plus I wanted to go through how to study how these animals, like deer and things, look, and I really love the way that turned out. And now I'm starting to draw on the other side of the page. So this, as these sketches go on, these pages are going to get, I think, personally at least, more interesting. Okay, so this is a good start to the sketchbook. This is when I went to a SCAD meeting in Dallas, and I drew somebody there, and my dad, knowing me as an artist, was like, "Who are you drawing?" And I said, "Oh, well, I'm drawing that person over there, but don't look at them because that's weird." And he goes, "Oh, well, you should tell her that you drew her." And I'm like, "But that's weird." And so I compromised and said that I was just going to tell her I liked her outfit. And in the middle of that sentence, my dad went, "She drew you." So I ended up having to show her the drawing, but we made each other's day, and it really helped inspire me as an artist, I want to say, that day. After that, here's just a bunch of other sketches that I took out of like school and things like that. And this one is pretty much a recreation of this right here, just a little bit. Okay, I think this drawing needs some explanation. So it was actually my twin sister's idea. This is a sketchbook study that we did in art class, and Catherine was like, "I know what you should do for this word right here, emphasis. Principle of design, concerned that stresses one element or area in a work of art to make it attract the viewer's attention first." So I promise you there's not going to be many more drawings in there like this, but it was just too funny I couldn't. Plus over here is just more cutouts, some sketches of like homework and things. This is one of my favorite pages here. So to fill space, I put some hand study, and here I drew a page of a place that I went in the summer near the Great Lakes, but then it got rained on, but it actually turned out really well the way the texture went on that. And then I drew a little caricature of Huckleberry Finn, and this is one of my favorite drawings. These two drawings were turned into digital art for a SCAD portfolio that I turned in, and here is the digital art of this one. Turned out pretty well, but it is only just a print-out page. It's not really good quality, but I still felt like I should put it in here. Here are some drawings from like a study that I did. I drew this, and then I drew another version that I was going to get to a pen pal, but couldn't give it up, so I put it back in my sketchbook, and I was just playing with like deep, dark inks, and plus Napoleon Dynamite, obviously, need him in there. Then here we have another art journal for art class, and I used a pencil that has 4 colors on it, and to make this portrait. It was kind of awkward though, because I was just working on it in English class, and a bunch of people were turning around and staring at me. Yeah, it's just the part of being an artist, I guess. So then here it is that I wrote about it. And then here's some sticker designs that I did. Cool thing is that one of these drawings were originally first in like just a boring, I'm bored drawing in homework, and then they turned into this, which is a really cool. Plus poses of Spider-Man, where I'm just kind of figuring out how to do these cool anatomy poses, and obviously Spider-Man is so cool, so couldn't help myself. Here are some just other sketches and things I put in here, kind of trying to work with backgrounds a little bit more and use ink and study fabrics and things. right here. This is pretty cool. So first here we've got just a sketch of a little girl that I did. Turned out really well. Just adding on to this other page with like old-timey and fashion and fabric. And here is a character I designed. His name is Suka. It was just a little fun thing I did. I colored him digitally later for that SCAD portfolio, and I just love his character. He's really sweet. So here's Huckleberry Finn digitalized. Turned out really great. And like as you can tell, this is right here. Like this is like going through different things in time periods of my life. And here I am at the Abilene Philharmonic and listening to Irish Christmas. So it kind of drew just how that music felt. Plus, one of my favorite artists, Charlie Berg, love his music, and I draw him quite a few times. And right here, I did kind of like more background study, and I did a tree. Turned out way better than I thought it would, I will admit. The other sketches in here too. And here, as you can tell, it's getting closer to Christmas, but a lot of the portraits that I do are self-portraits because it's easier to get reference from myself, and also it just helps me express just how I'm feeling at that moment or something. And portraits are definitely one of my favorite things to do. Here I am using a like swirl to do the shading, and then here I'm just kind of doing like this with my pencil. It turned out to look a lot like water, which is really cool. And here, this is me and my twin sister in our prom dresses. And then it's my twin sister sitting in art class, and my grandpa, my best friend, and some other person from vacation. And this is just me trying to get used to drawing in life things, and it turned out really well. Right here is just more sketches from in school, plus, as you can tell, like this is like a diary, how school felt as an artist, and this is from a book that I read in my college prep teacher's class. It was really awesome. In here, this is my friend's boyfriend, and then plus a quote from my grandpa, and sweet best friend moments. This is cool. This is a board sketch from like English class of that dragon, and then back here you can see how it turned out into an actual sticker design. So that's really cool to me. And then here it is, it's Christmas, and here's some sketches that I did during that time, plus my dad, my dog, me, people sitting in church. Promise you I was paying attention. And then there's my dog, actually. And then just more sketches, like here is more background studies, and this is what it looks like out where I live. And plus a little dragon holding its tail. And yeah, I really liked how that one turned out. And here's an awesome drawing of my cat. Turned out really well, plus other things that just go on in my life. And here, this is on the way to a Mavs game with my church. I really enjoyed drawing that in the car. And as you can tell, this is like a diary. This is how I felt at the moment when I got back from Christmas break. This is one of my favorite pages. When I had my senior art show, this was the page that I had on display. So this was just a dragon study because I wanted to play with all the different poses and different designs on dragons because they're cool, and ended up making this huge page out of it, and got this one and made it a digital drawing, which is now my wallpaper on my phone, but it's super cool. Plus I did that while I was working on this page just in math class, the extra time I had. Turned out super cool. I love this page. Definitely a favorite. And then here, I was reading a comic that had a bunch of really beautiful dresses in it, so I did a page with like dresses and things. And yeah, these two turned out really well. I loved how it came out. Here, I was teaching a friend how I draw people, and then the next day, I named him, and then I drew him a girlfriend just for fun, plus a few extra sketches in here. Oh, I love this page. So here in English class, we're reading Frankenstein, and my English teacher caught me drawing that and kind of told me to stop drawing. I get that a lot. And then here, this is cool. This is one of my favorite drawings in here. This was a dress that I had a dream about one night, and the next day I drew it. It's kind of like a Victorian kind of style dress, just looks so beautiful. The gloves and everything. I love how that looks. Alright, this is a deep page for sure. This represents, I called it clipped wings. This turned into a really awesome digital art piece that was the centerpiece in my senior sketchbook. My senior art show. And this is pretty much just how it felt in high school, with like the lack of opportunity as an artist and just senioritis mostly, feeling trapped at school, can't wait to graduate. Finally graduated, finally out of there. But I loved how right here next to it is my favorite Bible verse, and some bird wings and things. It just turned out amazing. I love this. Plus Valentine's Day, and then didn't like how this turned out, so I did a little study. And then here I did, this one's my favorite. This is a little kid study to kind of study their proportions and things like that. On this page I drew, actually it's this guy right here. I drew his cat. He has a Maine Coon named Bruce, and I drew him, and while I was drawing this, my blue pen got stolen, so that was not fun. But this drawing turned out pretty well. So here is a printout of some digital art I did of Jim Hawkins from my favorite movie, Treasure Planet. Love this drawing so much. And then here is just kind of like a pen test of my school mascot, and awesomely I got to do the school yearbook this year. This is not the school yearbook, this was just me figuring out how and what I was going to do. I should probably write that down. And then here is the gala that we went to, plus a little drawing in here, and more just drawings, plus 2 portraits that I was kind of working on using pen and colored pencil in here. And this guy is pretty much a recreation of this guy right here, but turned out really cute. Alright, this is pretty cool. This is one of my favorite pages too. This is on the way to New Jersey, where I went to go see my cousins. Got a 5-hour delay on the flight, so I was bored and just drew a whole bunch of people that were in there in the airport. This girl was actually there. I drew her. I probably should have showed her. And the other things were just little bits and pieces of people that were there. Like this guy's hair and nose, which is really big, was actually there. It just kind of turned into a portrait. Plus this girl's expression and side profile, and that guy's hair. This guy, I think I made him. He wasn't actually in the airport. Just kind of drew him based off of the practice of this. And then my uncle took us to New York City, which is really cool. Oh yes, I'll get to this page in a minute. So we went into New York City, and this was a man that I saw, or a teenager that I saw in New York City, which was really cool. We got to go to the Met Art Museum, and I drew one of the statues there. And then here, I am teaching my 9-year-old cousin how to draw unicorns and horses. Really enjoyed doing that. Plus, little Jade's drawing of a horse. And then these are drawings on the airplane back. Like here's a man that was in the airport. And then I didn't really have much time here, so it's all just a jumble of sketches. Because this is my senior year when I was really busy with tests and things. So I drew a bunch of Disney characters because I also got sick. So I got sick and watched some Disney movies and just wanted to practice the style of these characters. So on this next page, besides this one is my drawing. These are all characters from Disney movies. Loved how they turned out, especially Aurora and Delbert here. Some of my favorites for sure. And then I watched The Jungle Book, fell in love with Bagheera, and just had to draw him like 800 times. Here he is on this page and this page. And plus Shere Khan, had put him in there too. He was really cool. And then this is just more of like working on the yearbook cover. And then I went to prom. Pretty cool. And this is getting close to the end of my senior year. So I drew my friend's dog, especially that one is more accurate. This was on a bus, way too bumpy to draw, but somehow I managed anyways. Plus another person from church, and a cute little drawing I did in college prep class. My teacher really loved it. This is an entry I did for the Sheriff Department coloring book. Kind of overdid it, yes, but how could I not? Hopefully I won. And then some extra sketches. Here this was drawn based off of this guy in math class. Named him Sheriff Jack, he's really cute. And then this is what I was going to give to a pen pal but couldn't bring myself to let it go. And then my friend and a leopard right here. So this is an artist that I listened to and drew his portrait. It was really cool. He saw it. Kind of geeking out right there. And then more poses and things of people from the internet and stuff like that. This is also one of my favorite pages. So first I did a character design on foxes right here, of a fox, and based off of this little sheet right here that I drew first. And then here is my favorite portrait that I have done. I loved this portrait so much that I just couldn't bring myself to fill the other space in the page, and it turned out really well. Usually some portraits have some kind of mess up in there, but this one went better than I expected. And here I am on my last day of high school ever. This is pretty much a recreation of the clipped wings drawing that I cannot pull up right now for some reason. Oh well, you'll see it later. But this is a recreation of the clipped wings drawing, pretty much just being let free from school, senioritis again, plus a bunch of Polaroids of the last day of high school, graduation, and times after that. So this is another person from church that I drew, plus drawing of a owl and my brother and cats. And a fun thing I like to do with friends is draw them their dream boyfriend. And this girl wasn't really interested in keeping hers, so I kept it. But it was fun. I always love doing that. And then here I'm on my way to Oregon, and I drew like a cute little colt. His character design, his name is Skipper, plus a friend of mine, things like that. And then this is getting close to the last page ever. Kind of drew this one night instead of sleeping. More sketches right here. And this portrait's really cool. I wanted to see if I could draw with just blue and red, and it turned out really well. Alright, so this next page is really important. It is the last page in my sketchbook. It is pretty much, well, I guess I'll just show you. This page, I wanted, since the sketchbook meant so much to me and had so much amazing drawings in it to me, that I decided to make a awesome last page, which basically represents how this sketchbook felt to me, and like represents all the drawings in it and things like that. So I painted this page, which I'm not sure if it was a good idea or a bad idea, but I've done it. Did a full body portrait of me, and that took me way too long, plus all the drawings up in here. So you've seen this one definitely in the sketchbook. This is Suka, and there's that little scraggly raccoon, plus the Polaroid of the first flight, that little reindeer from Christmas, and Sheriff Jack, also Jim Hawkins. Just had to include those in there for sure. And here it's just some dragons for filler space. And this is another character that I made. His name is Muzzy. I mean. Very cute. I love him. And this last page turned out just so well. I love the way it turned out. It means a lot to me. Oh yes, love that too. So the other few pages are pretty much just my last page. Like, is pretty much just scrapbook kind of thing where I put user scratch paper, and then I keep this in here to hold things that are important. So like here is me and my twin sisters somewhere. My twin sisters' grad cards, plus prom and my senior art show thing in here where I drew this little image in here. So yes, and I believe that is all. Thank you so much for watching. This sketchbook means more than I can express, and there's still so much more to it in here than you can imagine. So watching this really means a lot to me because it supports me as an artist, and it kind of shows me a little bit how much my art is loved, and I'm very thankful for that. And see you later.